So the whole Tahina Pow Pow Caitlin Clark situation is just mad. It's just mad. And I'm not joking when I say this. Like, there is now a new angle that shows I don't even think in the whole push-off situation.
Hey, one frame, one foul, and one huge mistake caught on camera. One of the WNBA's reps is under fire after new video shows Caitlin Clark being grabbed, hacked, and hit without any warnings. It's not oops, missed a call. This is the exact opposite of what really happened. And now the league has a real problem with the way the games are being called.
She pushed off. I think that again, it looks to me like Tahina Pow Pow threw herself out of the play after hacking Caitlin Clark. She hacked Caitlin Clark, overcommitted and threw it.
First, let's talk about the play that made the internet go crazy. As Caitlin Clark drives by Tahina Pow Pow with that quick first step that everyone knows. When Pow is hit from behind, she doesn't play good defense. Instead, she gets scared, reaches out, and grabs Clark's shirt by the scruff. Hands tangled in cloth as clear as day. Move of desperation. What do the referees do? A foul is what they call it. They saw Caitlin get grabbed, pulled, and yanked while she was driving, but they still thought it was her fault.
Clark, her arm is like being grabbed by Tahina Pow Pow and she does take it off. Could there have been contact? Sure. But I've never, like, this is some of the worst refereeing I've ever seen to not call a defensive foul here. Some of the worst refereeing I have seen in my lifetime. Like, this is one of the worst missed calls.
What game did they watch? We saw violence instead of basketball because that's what we saw. Here's the catch. A new point of view fell, one that shows everything. Wow. Pow did more than just reach. It was a straight grab on Caitlin twice, first with both hands on the shirt and then at the hip. It was clearly not her place, and she knew she was losing, so she cheated. It worked in some way. When the ref sees Pow Pow flying backwards, he thinks Clark pushed her. It didn't happen that way at all. Clark had moved on, passed. Wow, was leaning, off balance and making bad guesses, and she was the only one who touched him. It's not even close when you slow the tape down. It wasn't a push-off. This was a defensive mistake that looked like a foul. Now let's talk about that arm extension that everyone keeps bringing up. Clark's arm did move, but guess what? You do something when someone grabs your shirt and throws you off balance. It's not dirty. That's simple physics for people. You're going very fast. The shirt is pulled off of you. To keep your balance, your body moves. That's not an offensive move. It's known as surviving contact. Once more, Clark was already past her. After the drive, the call came. When Pow Pow was in full-on panic mode, the whole push-off story doesn't make any sense. Her step was terrible. She reached out with her hands. It looked more like a wrestling match than her defense. This is one of the worst calls we've ever seen in basketball, not just in the WNBA preseason. It's not just one play, though. That is the issue. This isn't just a missed call. It has to do with something much bigger. Caitlin Clark has been troubled by an ugly pattern of growth since the beginning. Referees are calling the rules for her based on a different book. Do you think that's too much? Let's add up the money. Clark gets a double hand check down the court in the same game. That's not allowed. Ref doesn't do anything. The shirt is grabbed twice on her. Nothing. Defenders hit her even though she wasn't even trying to get the ball. Not a whistle. At the same time, other players in the same game are getting free throws for rubbing shoulders. Different calls to the same person. And Caitlin always ends up losing. Do you want to know why people are mad? It's not just that the refs missed a foul. It's because they made one. People saw that they were in touch and thought it was Caitlin Clark's fault because she's flashy, plays with fire, and draws attention. So referees do too much. They're expecting calls that don't happen. Because they don't want to favor her, they let players do things they wouldn't let get away with against anyone else. That's the irony. Because they don't want to favor her, they are directly going after her. The video shows it. This is not a view. This isn't drama on Twitter. In this slow-motion film, defenders hit Clark like it's no big deal while the refs don't do anything. There is no freedom of movement. You can check by hand. It's now allowed to grab the jersey, but only if Caitlin Clark is getting yanked. You get the idea now? For the second reason, Let's talk about continuity. All game, the referees switch roles. The next second, they're calling fake calls. 1 minute, they're not stopping people from being slammed to the ground. Clark was slammed on a layup, but there was no call. At the same time, a friend missed a shot and got free throws for barely being touched. An opponent slammed into Clark on a return, but the foul was called against her. This is the worst kind of chaos. That kind of offense won't work. That's not how you build trust in the system. The most important thing is that you can't make stars that way. No one is more excited about a rookie than Caitlin Clark. It doesn't matter that she's getting more fans, selling tickets, and getting higher scores. The rules should protect her, but how can she grow if she's getting robbed every play? Also, don't say things like, she needs to toughen up. She's already stronger than most people. Though she's played through hits, silence, full court presses, and double teams and still put up numbers, there is a difference between rough basketball and bad refs. And what we see in these games isn't strength, it's carelessness. You can't ignore mistakes just because you believe someone else can handle them. She is now being watched by the whole league. The referees are also messing up. It's not just fans who see it. Experts, players, and past coaches have all had their say. The refs are being called out by people who don't even support the fever. You know something is wrong when moderate voices start to speak up. And let's be honest, it's not just Caitlin Clark's fault. It's an issue for the WNBA because it's easy for things to get worse once fans start to notice problems with the refs. They start to doubt everything. They start to tune out. That kind of question can kill the league just as it's getting stronger. The system's flaw was shown in the practice game. The video not only caught a bad call, it also caught a rule being broken. Clark is grabbed, fouled, and hacked. If she doesn't call, she gets blamed. Do you know what that is? Scared. Look at her drive. The defenders flail. Fans scream and get scared. They blow. They guess that the whistle was on the wrong person. And guessing isn't allowed in professional sports. Take a quick look away. This mess with the officials around Caitlin Clark is not only annoying, it's also dangerous. Not only for her, but also for the league as a whole. Because when refs aren't fair, consistent, or just plain wrong, the WNBA's reputation takes a hit that can't be fixed by a highlight reel. The league we're watching is really moving forward. Caitlin Clark is getting huge crowds, attention from the mass media, and selling out arenas that couldn't fill seats before. These are the events the WNBA has been looking forward to. The refs are also messing up the bag. It's not the 1990s anymore. There is video of everything. It's possible to see online right away every bad call, missed grab, and blown whistle. Fans look at clips frame by frame, compare plays, and say something isn't true when they see it. These days, they're seeing a lot. No need for that practice game. Please tell me it was just one of those nights. Clark is checked twice. Not a whistle. She is yanked off at full speed. Have fun. She gets hit hard in the paint. The ref is blind. She takes a breath on a defense. Foul on offense. What's even worse? It is the exact same touch that is called on other players. It's a foul if you bump into a different guard. Don't worry if Clark gets hit in the jaw with an elbow. This lack of uniformity has grown into a full-on story that Caitlin Clark is being fed different information. Do you think the people don't see that? They do very loudly. They're on X, Reddit, and the comments parts of every WNBA post, calling out refs and demanding they be held responsible. They care, not because they're Caitlin stans. They're now really interested. And the refs are making fun of how smart they are. With this new video, there's no longer any doubt. No longer can you gaslight people. The video is true. The shirt has 2 hands on it. Bad. No call. Clark replies. Foul on offense. That's not being an official. It's called mischief. It's happened before. Talk about how Marina Mabury threw herself at Clark last year while she was making a layup. Not trying to block the shot, not going after the ball, just hitting Clark in the air, accident in full. Clark hits the ground and nothing happens. Don't call it a foul, red flag, or general foul, just vibes. It's not bad luck, so stop calling it that. It's becoming popular, and that every trend has effects. Because it's not just about Caitlin Clark's mines, points, or highlight reels. This is about making a case. What will the defense do if the refs don't call fouls when Clark gets hit? They are going to hack again. Why wouldn't they? If you know you can cheat and not get caught, that's how you play. Now we're seeing players do bad things because they know the whistle isn't coming. It's no longer a plan. It's carelessness. And there was dead quiet from the league. Where is the responsibility? Where is the claim? The league office should have said, "Yeah, we got that one wrong." Where is that review? Not anywhere. When games are close, the NBA sends out last 2-minute updates. They admit they were wrong. They explain. The NBA's ghost mode. At the same time, Caitlin Clark is getting beat up every game while the refs act like nothing happened. Now, here's the deal. It would not matter which top youngster was being hurt. People would still be outraged. This is because fans want more than just good players. It's fair to them. They want to know that the stars are safe. Games are won by skill, not by guessing who touched whom. Let us say Clark fights back. So let's say she fights a call. Then what? I see she's complaining now. She's proud and spoilt. When she tries to question the worst call of the week, the same people who call her flashy and selfish do pearl clutching. Things are going well for Wild Clark. She's cool, collected, and professional. She keeps going even though she gets hit. But when do we have to say that she's being punished just for being good? Because this feels like that. The refs do not want her to look past the game. So, they cut off her wings. They fix too much. They don't treat her the same. And it's terribly clear. And the reaction is already going. People are very angry about the new video. Fans, experts, and even players are speaking out without calling anyone out. They can see it. It's clear to everyone. It's not just bias. It shows disrespect. You want Clark to be the leader of this league in the future, right? If you're sick of seeing bad refs ruin good basketball, click like, leave a comment, and subscribe for more honest talk. We're still going to hold them responsible.